Hello student, I am Sangeeta Mansukhani. This is the video number 145. In this video, I will be explaining antimicrobials. Drugs which are used to cure disease caused by microbes are called antimicrobials. Okay, those drugs which are used to cure disease caused by microbes are called antimicrobials. Okay, and antimicrobial drugs tends to destroy, prevent, development or inhibit the pathogenic action of microbes, like example bacteria. So for bacteria inhibit action, so we have to use antibacterial drugs. For inhibit the fungi action, so antifungal agent. For virus, antiviral agent, or other parasite, we have to use antiparasitic drugs. So antibiotics, antiseptic or disinfectants are antimicrobial drugs. Okay, antibiotics, antiseptic and disinfectants are antimicrobial drugs. Okay, so first we have to discuss here antibiotics. Okay, anti means against and biotics means life. Okay, so anti means against and biotics means life. Okay, so these drugs are used as antimicrobials and help in the treatment of the infection. You already known about this name, antibiotics, right? So in the treatment of the infection, we have to use antibiotics. So these drugs are chemical substance and which are produced by the microorganism, and these are used as a drug to treat infection because of their low toxicity for humans. Okay, so antibiotics used for the treatment of the infection. Okay, so initially antibiotics were classified as chemical substance produced by the microorganism that inhibit the growth, otherwise even destroy the microorganism. But with the evolution of the time, it was seen some purely synthetic compound have antibacterial activity. Okay, so therefore the definition of the antibiotic has been modified. So definition is an antibiotic refers to a substance produced wholly or otherwise partially by the chemical synthesis and which is in low concentration and inhibit the growth or destroy microorganisms by intervening in their metabolic process. Okay, clear? Antibiotics as a substance which is partially otherwise whole produced by the chemical synthesis in which the low concentration inhibit the growth, otherwise destroy the microorganisms, but by intervening in their metabolic process. Okay, the next topic is antibiotics showing structural similarity with azodyes. Okay, so described above by Paul Ehrlich. Okay, Paul Ehrlich, a German bacteriologist, investigated arsenic-based structure in order to produce less toxic substances for the treatment of the syphilis, and he developed the medicine arphenamine known as salvarsan. Okay, salvarsan. So Paul Ehrlich, a German bacteriologist, investigated arsenic-based structure in order to produce less toxic substances and for the treatment of the syphilis. So he developed the medicine arphenamine. It is known as salvarsan. Okay. So first effective treatment discovered for syphilis. So he got Nobel Prize for medicine in 1908, and it is toxic to human beings, but its effect on the bacteria, okay, spirochaete, okay, which causes syphilis, is much greater than on human beings. At the same time, Ehrlich was also working on azodyes. Okay, and he noted the similarities between salvarsan and then azodyes. And so arsenic double bond arsenic linkage in arphenamine so resemble the nitrogen double bond nitrogen linkage in azodyes. So see the double bond between the molecules, okay, in the sense. So arsenic atom in present in the place of the nitrogen. So he noted tissues getting colored by the dyes So after these observations, he began to search for the compounds which resemble in structure to azo-dyes. Then after 1932, he succeeded in preparing the first effective antibacterial agent, Prontosil. What is the name of this? Prontosil. And its structure to the compound salvarsan. Okay, which resembles in structure to the compound salvarsan. And this compound gets converted into the sulfanilamide in the body. Okay, which is the real active compound, and the sulfur drugs were discovered. Then after structure of the salvarsan, Prontosil, sulfanilamide and sulfapyridine and azo-dyne. Salvarsan, Prontosil, sulfanilamide, sulfanylamide and sulfapyridine and azo-dyne. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Showing structural similarities. See, same here. Salvarsan, arsenic double bond here. Prontosil and double bond and on sulfanilamide. Here you see NH2 attached, here SO2 NH2. So the Prontosil and sulfanilamide similarities, SO2 NH2 group. Then sulfapyridine. So here same SO2 NH bond and azo-dyne and double bond N. So this is the main similarities. Okay, but real revolution in antibacterial therapy began with the discovery of the Alexander Fleming in 1929. Real revolution in antibacterial therapy start in 1929. Okay, and of the antibacterial properties of the Penicillium fungus. Okay, which antibacterial properties of the Penicillium fungus? H.W. Florey and then Fleming shared the Nobel Prize for the medicine in 1945 for the development of the penicillin. So actually start antibacterial therapy in 1929 by the Alexander Fleming, and Alexander worked on the Penicillium fungus. Okay, so H.W. Florey and Fleming shared the Nobel Prize for the medicine in 1945 for the development of the penicillin. So this is the history of about antibiotics. Next topic is types of the antibiotics. Antibiotics have either Cidal that is means killing effect, or second is static, inhibitor. So two types of the antibiotics, killing, inhibitor. Killing, Cidal effect, and static effect, inhibitor. So two types of the antibiotics. First is bactericidal. Here you see Cidal. Okay, bactericidal, and then second is bacteriostatic. Okay, so these antibiotics, Cidal that is means killing. So kill the bacteria in the body. Which bactericidal example? Penicillin, aminoglycosides and ofloxacin. Okay, ofloxacin. Then bacteriostatic, these antibiotics inhibit or stop the growth of the bacteria. Okay, example is erythromycin, tetracycline and chloramphenicol. This is the bacteriostatic. So these antibiotics inhibit or stop the growth of the bacteria in the body. Erythromycin and tetracycline and chloramphenicol. So please learn the example. Okay. Then spectrum of action of antibiotics. Okay. So full range of the microorganism attacked by an antibiotic is called its spectrum of action. Again I say full range of the microorganism attacked by an antibiotic so is called its spectrum of the action. So there are two types. First is broad spectrum antibiotic and second is narrow. Okay, so antibiotic which kill means bactericidal. Okay, so antibiotics which kill or inhibit bacteriostatic. A wide range of the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria are called broad-spectrum antibiotics. Antibiotics which kill or inhibit a wide range of the gram-positive and gram-negative bacteria are called broad-spectrum antibiotics, and those effective mainly against gram-positive or gram-negative bacteria so are called narrow-spectrum antibiotics. Okay, if It kills only single microorganism. So these are known as limited spectrum antibiotics. So generally two types, but whenever only for kill a single microorganism, so then these are known as limiting spectrum antibiotic. Okay, so example here given, penicillin G, capital G, is a narrow spectrum antibiotics. Narrow is, that means it's effective mainly against gram positive and gram negative. Okay, while ampicillin and amoxicillin are synthetic modification of the penicillin. So penicillin G is narrow spectrum antibiotic, and while ampicillin and amoxicillin are synthetic modification of the penicillin. So these are broad spectrum antibiotic. Okay, so penicillin has a narrow spectrum and it is effective only against disease caused by various cocci and some gram positive bacteria. And it is necessary to test the patient for sensitivity like allergy to penicillin before it is administered. Okay, so it is necessary to test the patient for sensitivity, allergy. So in India, penicillin is manufactured at the Hindustan Antibiotics in Pimpri and in private sector industry. Okay. Then second example, first we have to here discuss about penicillin especially. Second example given, chloramphenicol. Chloramphenicol isolated in 1947. This is the second type of the antibiotic, one of the broad spectrum antibiotic. Okay, so penicillin AG is narrow spectrum antibiotic, but chloramphenicol is broad spectrum antibiotic. What is the broad? Again I say antibiotics which kill or inhibit a wide range of the gram positive and gram negative bacteria. So example is chloramphenicol. It is a broad spectrum antibiotic and can be given orally to treat like typhoid, dysentery, and then acute fever, certain form of urinary infection, and then meningitis and pneumonia, because it is rapidly absorbed from the gastrointestinal tract. Okay, then next example is antibiotics, vancomycin and then ofloxacin. Okay, are important broad spectrum antibiotics. Okay, and then dizidesirin. The antibiotic dizidesirin is a toxic and towards certain strains of the cancer cell. So which antibiotic we have to use in the cancer cell? So dizidesirin, okay, is a toxic towards the certain strains of the cancer cell. Here given general structure of the penicillin, RCONH amide group attached, here both side methyl and acid group attached. Okay, and C here carbon, C double bond O, and then here pentane type of ring. Okay, clear, and this is the chloramphenicol structure. So antimicrobials, three example given. First is antibiotics. So I completely describe about antibiotics. So second example is antiseptic, and third one is disinfectant. So first, second one is antiseptics. These are chemicals which prevent either the growth of the microorganism or kill them, but are not harmful to the living human tissue. Okay, like example furacin and soframycin. You listen about soframycin tube also present in the market, available in the market. Okay, so soframycin is the antiseptic and furacin. But these are not ingested like antibiotics. Okay, so antibiotic ingested and it is harmful, toxic for human beings. Okay, less. But antiseptic not a harmful for the living human tissues, but it is not ingested. Only for this is for taken oral way. And these are applied to the living tissues like wounds, cuts, ulcers, and diseased skin surfaces. Okay, so here example, first example here given Dettol. Dettol also you know, okay, but whenever in the exam asking questions Dettol components, so you have no written. Okay, students, not written. So please focus here. Dettol is an antiseptic and it is the mixture of the chlorogyninol, and also known as parachlorometagyninol. Okay, and second component is alpha terpinol. Okay, so commonly used antiseptic for wounds, cuts, diseased skin surfaces. Okay, so here structure you see terpinol, this structure, or chlorogynolone. So please structure for Dettol, chlorogynolone and terpinol. Okay, then second example of the antiseptic bithionol. Bithionol, it is also called as bithionol, and it is added to the soaps to impart antiseptic property to them. Okay, but such soaps reduces odor produced due to the bacterial action on external surface of our skin. So Dettol soap also available, and Lifebuoy, so antiseptic soap. Okay, so it is a impart antiseptic property to them. Clear? Then third example is bithionol structure. You see both benzene ring attached by sulfur. Okay, this is the structure of the bithionol. Third example of the antiseptic, iodine. Iodine used as an antiseptic and in the form of the tincture of the iodine. Example, 2-3% of the solution of the iodine in alcohol water mixture, and it is applied on wounds. Okay, so iodine is an antiseptic. It is the form of the tincture of the iodine, 2-3% of the solution of the iodine in alcohol water mixture. Okay. Then fourth example of the antiseptic, boric acid. Boric acid in dilute aqueous solution. Boric acid act as a weak antiseptic for eyes. So for washing our eyes we have to use boric acid, but dilute way. Okay, not a concentrate. So in dilute aqueous solution, boric acid act as a weak antiseptic for eyes. So 4 example here given: Dettol, bithionol, and iodine and boric acid. Third antimicrobial example is disinfectant. Disinfectant, these are the chemical which kills the microorganism and are applied to the inanimate object. Inanimate object like floors, drainage system, instrument. Clear? So they are not safe to be applied to the living tissue. Okay, so same substance can act as an antiseptic as well as disinfectant by varying the concentration. Example here given: 0.2% solution of the phenol is an antiseptic, 0.2%. But whenever we have to take 1% solution, so it is a disinfectant. Clear? So phenol solution only for we have to use as a antiseptic, so 0.2% use, but 1% solution is used as a disinfectant. Second example of given disinfectant, chlorine. Chlorine in the concentration of the 0.2 to 0.4, okay, ppm. So in the aqueous solution, and then sulfur dioxide in very low concentration act as a disinfectant. So chlorine in the concentration 0.2 to 0.4 ppm in aqueous solution, and then SO2 in a low concentration. Both are act as a disinfectant. Okay. Next topic is chemicals in food. So certain chemicals are added to the food. First is for preservation, second is for enhancing their appeal, and third is for adding nutritive value in them. So chemicals we have to use in the food for preservation, for enhancing their appeal, for adding nutritive value in them. So main categories of the food additives involves like food colors, that is also chemical. Whenever we have to use flavors, so we have to use chemical. So food colors, flavors, sweeteners, fat emulsifiers, stabilizing agents, okay, then antioxidants, flour improvers, that is means anti-staling agent, okay, and bleaches. Then preservatives and nutritional supplements like minerals, amino acid and vitamins. Okay, so except nutritional supplements, these all are added to increase the shelf life of the stored food or for cosmetic purpose. Okay, so first example of the First example here given, artificial sweetening agent. Okay, this is the very important because it is in our daily life. It is used. Artificial sweetening agent. Natural sweetness like sucrose and fructose adds calorie intake. Artificial sweetening agent like generally natural sweeteners like sucrose, fructose add calorie intake. So therefore many people prefer to use artificial sweeteners. Okay, so sweetening agents are the chemical substance which provides sweetness to the food without increasing the calories to the body. Okay, so what is the artificial sweetening agent? So are those chemical substance which provide the sweetness to the food without increasing the calories to the body. So these compounds used as substitute for sugar in the food and beverage, especially in soft drinks. Okay, so they are non-nutritive in nature. So which 4 types of artificial sweeteners are given? First is as artificial sweetener is aspartame. Okay, what is the artificial sweetener? Aspartame. Okay, so here you see this is the 2 parts of the aspartame. This is the aspartic acid part and this is the phenylalanine methyl ester part. So aspartame structure, but you learn not structure, you learn only for sweetness value. Okay, so sweetness value in the comparison to the cane sugar 100. Okay, then second is saccharin. Saccharin is orthosulfobenzeneamide. So we combine way we have to say orthosulfobenzeneamide. Okay, and saccharin sweetness value is 550. Okay, clear? Aspartame 100 and saccharin 550. You listen about saccharin. Okay, so this saccharin sweetness is 550. Then third is example artificial sweetening agent sucralose. Sucralose sweetness value is 600. Okay, and fourth is allicin. Allicin value is sweetness value is 2000. Okay, so 4 are artificial sweeteners. First is aspartame, second one is saccharin, third one is sucralose, and then fourth is allicin. So saccharin is called orthosulfobenzeneamide and it is first popular artificial sweetening agent. So it is about 550 times sweet as cane sugar. It is a lifesaver for diabetic patient and its use is of great value to the people who need to control intake of the calories. It is inert and harmless and excreted from the body through urine. Then second example of the artificial sweetener agent aspartame, most successful, and it is a methyl ester of the dipeptide derived from aspartic acid and phenylalanine. So it is unstable at cooking temperature. So it now usually in the cold food and soft drinks. Third example, allicin. Allicin, it is a high potency sweetener and it is control of sweetness of the food is difficult while using it. So more stable than aspartame. Okay, aspartame sweetness value is 100 but allicin sweetness value is 2000. Okay, sucralose it is a trichloro derivative of sucrose. Okay, and its appearance and taste similar like sugar. So it is stable at cooking temperature and doesn't provide calories. Trichloro derivatives of the sucrose, its appearance and taste are like sugar. It is stable at cooking temperature and doesn't provide calories. Okay, so these 4 are artificial sweetener agents: saccharin, aspartame, allicin and sucralose. Okay, then next is food preservatives. So chemical substances which are used to protect food against bacteria, yeast and molds are called food preservatives. Okay, which are used to protect food against bacteria, yeast, molds are called food preservatives. Okay, so they prevent spoilage of the food. Reason of the spoilage of the food due to the microbial growth. Okay, so some common preservatives we have to use: table salt, sugar, vegetable oils, and then chemical waste, sodium benzoate, C6H5COONA. Okay, Then salt of the sorbic acid and then propanoic acid are also used as a preservatives. Salt of the sorbic acid and propanoic acid are also used as a preservatives. Example given, sodium benzoate. Sodium benzoate also used in limiting quantities and it is metabolized by the body, but it converts into hippuric acid. Hippuric acid C6H5 CO NHCH2COOH, but ultimately excreted in urine. Okay, so generally used in soft drinks and acidic foods. So these are food preservatives, sodium benzoate, used in the soft drink and the acidic foods for preservation. Clear? Then next is antioxidants. Okay, chemicals which are used. Next topic is antioxidant in foods. So chemicals which are used to prevent oxidation of the fat. Okay, and then processed foods like potato chips, biscuits, cereals are called antioxidants. So those chemicals which are used to prevent oxidation of fat in processed foods like potato chips, biscuit, etc. are called antioxidant. So here example are given. Generally, these compounds retard to the action of the oxygen on food, so reducing its speed of the decomposition by oxidation. So they help in the preservation of the food. So these act as a sacrificial materials, antioxidant, more reactive towards oxygen. So then that are material they are protect. Okay, example are given. Most familiar antioxidant example are given. BHT, that is means butylated, BH hydroxytoluene. Okay, butylate hydroxytoluene. And second example is BHA, butylated hydroxyanisole, toluene and anisole. These two examples of the antioxidant. Okay, so these phenolic compounds are added to the preserved fats in the packaged food. Okay, so oxygen react preferentially with a BHA or BHT rather than oxidizing fats or oil. So protect them from spoilage. Okay, like addition of the BHA to the butter increase its storage life from month to year. So butter from month to year preserved by the BHA. What is the BHA? Butylated hydroxyanisole. Okay, so here is structure given. What is the difference between the BHT and BHA? Here you see benzene ring, OH, OH. Here you see CS3. Okay, here OCS3. Okay, because here toluene that is means OH and then one side CS3. Anisole that is means OCS3 group attached. Okay, here both of side ortho and position CCS3 whole thrice. CCS3 whole thrice. This is the BHT, butylate hydroxytoluene. But here only one side attached CCS3 whole thrice. So here we have to say butylate hydroxyanisole. So sometimes are both BHT and BHA are added in combination with citric or ascorbic acid, so to produce a more active synergetic effect. Okay, so whenever both are added in combination of the citric or ascorbic acid, so produce a more active synergetic effect. Okay, so sulfur dioxide and sulfide, such as sodium sulfide, sodium bisulfide and sodium metasulfide are useful antioxidant for wine, beer, sugar syrups, and cut, peeled and dried fruits and vegetables. So these prevent or reduce their decoloration. Okay, SO2 and sulfide as used as a antioxidant. Okay, clear? Next topic is cleansing agents. I will be explained in the next video. Thank you so much.